All right, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Tavi. I'm an artist and music producer, a visionary artist and music producer, and I help people get out of their head and get in the zone. So if you're new here, please subscribe. If you know me, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. So, what this video is about is for artists and producers who are doing their craft, but they're not really progressing exactly where they want to be in terms of the business. They want to make money on their art, they really want to sustain themselves through their art. And I'm here to give you some real world experience on that. I've been a music producer for 18 years now, started in 2006, been in bands since, I don't know, 2003, 2004. I've been playing instruments since I was in second grade. So I got a lot of experience, and I really want to share with you some important points that I learned while I worked on Wall Street these past 6 months. I worked from October 2023 up until April 2024, working at one of the top brokerage firms on Wall Street, selling loans, merchant cash advances to small businesses. So I really got to look and see how much money different companies make. I really got to see the difference between a good business and a bad business. And I really got direct hands-on training from the best people in sales, period. And I don't care if you don't like sales because you're an artist and you're a music producer, but the bottom line is you need to always sell yourself no matter what you're doing. It's something you need to learn, at least in some respect, in order to have success as a music entrepreneur, right? That's what we want to do. That's what we're doing. Like we know, this channel is Only Bangers Lifestyle. This is metaphysics of music, and the first step always in anything is attitude. Deciding I'm going to do this. I'm going to decide to be great at something. I'm going to be great at music. I'm going to be great at sales. I'm going to support myself on my music. That's always the first attitude you should have, correct? And that's how I was able to land a job. I applied to like 20 places, and then I landed a job at a firm selling loans to small businesses, making at least $5,000 a month, and we funded from 5,000 to 5 million, sometimes even higher than that. But I got a wide range of experiences, so I want to share with you 10 points that I learned. So, the first point, right when I started, one of my coworkers, great guy, recommended me a book that I recommend all of you get on audiobook, or you get the physical book or digital book. It's called No is the Start of Negotiations. And it's this FBI hostage negotiator, the top hostage negotiator in the world. And he talks about just the mind of different people and how to move and negotiate in life or death situations. And the important point in this book is like no, don't be afraid of no. I realized after reading this book, like I was afraid of no. I was always doing whatever I could to like get a yes, or feeling like if I got a no, I would be crushed emotionally. Don't feel bad if you get a no. After you read this book, you're going to realize like, wow, no is great, because no gives you a starting point. If people say yes, a lot of those yeses are actually soft no's. That's why you get ghosted. That's why people don't respond, because they don't follow through, because people are afraid to also say no. So when you get a no, it's clear, and it's like, well, why didn't you say no? How come? What can I do to assist you? How can I change my program or my business or my music? Like, how would it interest you? This will help when you're trying to get your music on a playlist, or trying to get signed by a label, or trying to get funding for your music, or trying to convince someone to listen to your music. If someone just says, no, I don't have the time, it gives you opportunity to move around. Like they say, no, sorry, I don't have the time to listen to your music. Well, when would be a good time, or how would it be more convenient? If I don't send you this link you don't want to go to, can I just send you a direct video? You can check out a few seconds of it. Because a lot of these bigger artists or labels, they don't really have time to check out a link or check out attachments that you send. So if they say no, just go around and embrace it. It gives you a place to work from within anything that you're doing. So no is great. And you ask enough times, you'll get someone who is interested. There's many people who said no in the beginning to me about funding and a loan, but then eventually I was able to fund them because I had already developed that relationship. Even though they said no, I still value the human connection more than just the immediate gratification. So that's really important too. So number 2 is everything is a numbers game, right? Every single thing is a numbers game. Anything, success in anything in the world is not about talent, it's about numbers. If someone less talented than you outworks you, doesn't matter. They're gonna get more progress, they're gonna make more money. So, yes, you need skill, but numbers are more important. That's why I always say quantity over quality, at least in the beginning. I mean, I think always. Yeah, always you want good quality too, but if you can put in the numbers, you're naturally going to get better faster than the other person. So at this job, I was doing 500 calls a day, 500 cold calls every day. Do you want funding? Do you need working capital? Do you need this? Do you need that? And everyone saying, no, 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 F off. And I received death threats, received like insults, all this stuff. But all that stuff builds your character. Just like when you're on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube and you got haters, you get people who are just miserable and saying no. Or, the algorithm is just giving them stuff they're not interested in. So they're tired of it and they're taking it out on you. Just don't take that personally and use that to strengthen yourself. Happiness comes from strength, becoming strong spiritually, being on the higher level, not responding. Don't engage with haters. Someone says a mad thing to me, hang up. The few times that I went in and I did engage, it was a bad idea and it lowered my energy. So everything is a numbers game. I was doing 500 calls a day. That's like around 2,000 calls a week. I would maybe find 5 people who were interested every day. If it was a good day, I would find 5 people who I could send an application to. Right, 5 out of 500. And at the end of the week, I maybe had 20 people who were interested. But out of all those people, the amount of people who sent me back an application was even smaller. It was maybe around 3. And then out of those 3, maybe one of them will get funding. They'll go through the whole process, get approved, agree to the deal, able to close the deal, and it to go through. So same with music. You might get it to a playlist, and then at the end it gets banned. It gets shut off. You might get a placement with a rapper, and then at the end, whatever, rapper doesn't like it anymore. You're cut. It's happened to me many times. So everything is a numbers game, but eventually you're going to find the people who are interested. Eventually you're going to find fans who love your work, and they're going to be your super fans, and they're really going to support you. But you got to go through the numbers. If you're not posting enough, you're not going to get enough views, right? If you're posting once a week, you're going to get there really slow. You got to post once a day, right? Once every other day. What's number 3? Build relationships. Build relationships with every one of your clients. Build relationships with every one of your fans. Person to person, you should have your fans' email and their phone number. You should be contacting them every week. And be like, yo, I'm just working on this right now. Get them hyped up. Get them anticipated on what you're working on. So they can feel the excitement too. And then that'll push you to get stuff done as well. In terms of the job that I had, if I didn't maintain relationships with clients, they would go to someone else. There's so much music out there, especially upcoming artists. It's like they're not reminded, like, this is your stuff. This is your stuff. Look at how I'm improving. Look how I'm making this track again. They could just go to someone else, right? So you don't want that to happen. That happened to me at the job, and it felt pretty bad. Like I was funding someone, and then I forgot to follow up. They just went with another company because they're getting 1,000 calls a day. Number 4, clawbacks. There was something called clawbacks. If you funded a deal and then the merchant defaulted or stopped payments and it was within 1 month, then you get a clawback. So the money is taken back. This was a 100% commission job, by the way. So when the money was taken back from a clawback, it really hurt because it meant you didn't get paid or your paycheck was really damaged, right? So expect, you got to be yourself and just share honestly as an artist. You're not going to try to please everyone. You're going to have people who don't like some stuff that you say, who don't like you, who unfollow you when you're being yourself. That's fine. Let that skin shed and be your full self. The more success you have, the more haters, the more clawbacks you will have. Number 5, disconnect emotionally from money. Right? I saw all the best producers did this. When they're in a deal, when they're in this, they're disconnecting. They're not like so emotional of judgment about money or all this and that. It was like, this is the price. This is what we have for you. Bam. That's it. So same with your music, or you're about to sign a record deal, or you're about to sign something. You're about to go in somewhere. It's like, you're about to pay for a beat. It's like, as a good producer, it's going to be expensive. There it is. I'm disconnected emotionally, but I know I'm going to get a good product out of it, right? So don't be connected emotionally to the money. Don't let that hold you back. Number 6, time kills deals. So when you get a placement, the longer it takes for the artist to come out with it, the higher chance that it'll be kicked off the album. I had a song on a major artist album that just got kicked off a few months ago. It's like, taking too long. There's really nothing I can do with there but apply the other learning of numbers game, right? Putting in the work, not being swayed, continuing to go, and eventually I will find the correct artist who will drop it. And even one song can blow up your career. So you always got to have the attitude the next song is going to be it. Same with on this job. I forgot to put this as a number, but like any call could be $1 million. If you fund $1 million deal, if you're starting and you're getting 20% commission, the company makes whatever 10 points, and then you could get $20,000 from one call. So any call, it's like you could make 20K. That was always the attitude to have. So same with on your social media. Same with going somewhere. It's like Jay-Z could be watching your video without you knowing it. Drake could be watching it. Your biggest idol could be watching you. Doesn't matter the views. So the next song, the next post can always change everything. Don't rely on that. Expect it, but don't rely on it. Be positive and optimistic. And you got to be strong, because a lot of times it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen right away. It's a hustle, it's a grind, but it is fulfilling. And it is our life purpose to be an artist. We don't have any other choice. We need to be an artist. But being an artist is so freeing. As I've been free from my 9 to 5, I felt amazing these past few years. Been able to live in Mexico, living in New York. Grateful for all my supporters. Could not do it without them. And it's possible. It's possible to live off your art, and it's necessary. So 7, with a victory, don't get too comfortable, right? With a victory, don't get too comfortable. If you get comfortable, if you get too comfortable, you'll lose momentum. Hold on one second. What? If you get too comfortable, you will lose momentum. And then you'll have to start back up again. So when you have a victory, you get a lot of plays on Spotify. You get on a playlist. You get that. You get this. Right? Go even harder. Go even harder. Because that momentum will double, triple, quadruple your results. At the job, it was like getting funded. Then you're relaxed. You don't want to do that. You get funded and you have an even harder attitude. Like, I'm going to go get an even bigger one. Wrote a lot here, but, Number 8. There's always a new client. There's always a new opportunity. It's always a new playlist, always a new label, always a new artist to collaborate with. Don't get hung up on one opportunity that fell through. You got to put in that numbers game. You got to build that strength. And you got to be able to encourage yourself. Get up next. You could have that $1 million deal, and it could be in final review by the underwriters and then be killed because of the person's previous default or criminal record. And then you lose that 20K. And don't count on things that haven't fully went through yet. Don't put it on the board. Don't put it on your spreadsheet that you funded it. Don't put it already in your mind and get lazy that you got this placement, that you got this thing already. Don't do that. That will kill the energy. The universe is really subtle. It reflects and reacts to your slightest inner state, your inner determination. It is always reflecting you, especially with money. It's such a sensitive thing. It will. Like, you always got to have the attitude ready for it. Like, that's mine. Got it. Done, 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 done. And then move to the next, move to the next. Money is strict. That is the next one, 9, actually. Money is strict. Don't already count. So then the last one, point number 10, is one guy, one of the main floor managers who actually worked with Jordan Belfort, the actual Wolf of Wall Street. He worked with him in the 90s. He would always come in the morning and say, there's a ton of money out there. Are you going to go get it? Or are you going to let the guy next to you get it? It's just waiting for you to pick it up. So it's like tons of opportunity, tons of money in music, tons of ways to support yourself with music. Are you going to get it, or are you going to let another person get it? That's what I want to end with. That's what I learned working for a top broker on Wall Street for 6 months. And go and apply that to your music business, and you're going to flourish. Don't forget to download my free guide if you haven't already on onlybangers.life. Have a great day. Peace.